The TikTok ban is on the horizon. Have you created tons of TikTok videos? And are you going to need to re-upload them if the ban has taken place? By the time you watch this, the ban actually might have taken place. So instead of downloading all your videos one by one manually, or typing all your metrics in a spreadsheet, wouldn't it be nice if you can just press one button and download all your videos and your metrics all in one place? In this video, I'm going to show you how you can do that step by step. You can save all your videos and your metrics all with one click, and it's free. Hi, I'm Andy. I'm a video game producer and a tech enthusiast. And on this channel, we help people be more creative with AI and automation tools. All the templates and blueprints for this video and all my other YouTube videos are available on the Studio Spark School community. It's a free community. All you need to do is click on the link below and you can get access to it. All right, now back to the video. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is set up our Airtable database. And this is where we're gonna store all of our data once we scrape it. So we're here in Airtable. I'm gonna go ahead and create a new base. I'm gonna create it from scratch. First, we're gonna make two tables. First one being a user table. And the second one is going to be a video table. And let's see, add a table, start from scratch. And this one's going to be called videos. Great. All right. So what's the first thing we need to do in our users table? I'm just going to delete these fields because they get in the way. So first thing is we need a username, right? So username, single line text is good. All right. Then I'm going to do a really quick checkbox just for testing purposes. And it's going to be run now checkbox. I'm going to call it checkbox here. Okay. And then I'm going to use this user table to store all of my user data, right? So I'm going to have things like profile name, bio, links, my stats, stuff like that. So let's go ahead and fill those out. Profile pic is the first one. And you can actually store the picture in here. And that's going to be an attachment. Okay, create field. Nickname. Single line text is good. And then signature. And signature is multiple lines, so it's probably good to use long text here. Bio link. And that's going to be a URL. Straight URL. All right, create field. All right, now we're going to do the metrics here. So I'm going to do one here. I'm going to call it number of followers. And that's going to be a number, right? And I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this a few more times. And I'm going to add in a few more metrics. All right, now that I put in all my columns for the metrics, I'm going to enter a run ID. This is going to be pretty useful later because we're going to need it again for our automation. So I'm going to enter run ID, and it's just a single line text, just a string that we're going to use. I like to add in a record ID for me to easily see it. So this is going to be a formula. It's not entirely necessary. And you enter record ID and in parentheses and create field, and it'll show you the record ID. Now I just do it because I pay attention to that stuff every time I do some automation. Not necessary and all the time. We're going to have a last modified date as well. So this is a date. I think actually there is a modified date, last modified time, right? I would like that. And just double check it to include a time. All right. And I'm also going to have a link to the videos table, link to another field in videos. And this one is going to be linked to multiple videos, right? One profile is going to have multiple videos. So allow linking to multiple records. All right. So that's there. Lookup fields. We don't need any lookup fields here because if we're going to look at this table for anything, we're just interested in user data anyway. If we want to look at the videos, we'll look at the video table in a moment. I actually have two more fields I have to enter into this table, but I'm going to do that after I create more of the database for the videos table. Now, before I leave this, One, I want to do a couple things. I want to rename my view here to all users. And the other thing I want to do is name my base because I forgot to do that. So let's call this demo TikTok. Let's call it TikTok Saver for now because that's what the purpose of this video is for, right? All right. Our TikTok Saver is ready. So our user table is ready. Let's move on to the videos table. Now in the videos table, it's going to be a lot of the same. But of course, everything's going to be relevant to the videos table. So first thing I'm going to do is attach a video ID, and it is a single string line. Single string text here. Hit OK. And now there's going to be a link to another record, which is the user's record. And it should only allow a link to one record here. See, add lookup fields, it should just go ahead and use the user name immediately. If you go back to the users table, it's actually created this field here. In fact, I'm actually going to delete this one we made before and rename this video, just videos. So we don't have duplicates. Now I'm going to set up the columns for the actual data for the videos themselves. So the first thing I like is to do the cover. It's because I'm a very visual person. And that's going to be an attachment. It's actually going to be a picture. Oops. Attachment. Okay. And then the media is the actual video itself. So we're going to be able to save all these videos directly into Airtable. Attachment. All right. Now we're going to have the captions that we worked so hard putting together. That's going to be a long text. And then the URL for the TikTok URL. So you don't need this, especially to save your videos for TikTok in case TikTok gets banned. But it's interesting to be able to reference it. So just URL. In fact, I'm going to call this TikTok URL to make this just very obvious. All right, now I'm going to do a set of metrics. So just like in the users table, I'm going to do number of likes for this particular video. And I'm going to select number. And this time before I duplicate it, I'm going to make sure it's 0 decimal places. Show 1,000 separators, sure. And now I'm just going to duplicate this a few times and add in the other fields that we want to capture. So I enter columns for likes, views, saves, duration, and number of comments. All right, and this is important too. The SRT file, our captions that either we uploaded or TikTok auto-generated. This is super neat to be able to keep. So I'm just going to name this SRT for the subtitle file. And I know I just called it a file, but it's really just a long string. So just use a long text here. Now, I also want a date for video created time. And that's going to be a date. And we're going to include the time just to have all that data. I'm going to have a last modified time. Okay, yeah. Now, for the sake of maintaining history for this record, I'm going to have a last modified time for this record itself. I guess I didn't have to type it in, but yeah, this is just to make sure I know if something got updated or not. And then I am going to have a record ID here as well. It's going to be a formula, and record ID is our formula. All right. And there's a record ID. All right. So there's one more really important thing we have to do, and it's to help out our automation when it comes time to scraping our data. So we're going to go back to the users table here, and I'm going to add 2 more columns. And this is pretty important. So when we scrape our data, we're going to be using a service that we either pay for or using free credits that are given to us. So you want to be careful about scraping your data and how far back in time you're going to scrape your data. And so we're going to put in 2 columns here to make sure that it's easy to control that. So the first thing I'm going to add is a roll-up field. So this is going to be called last video created. And it's going to double check to make sure we capture when was the last video that we uploaded out from TikTok. So say you have hundreds of videos to download and you don't want to do it all in one go, you can actually use this to track. So anyway, let's create this. Last video created, it's going to be a roll-up. And with this roll-up, I'm going to use the videos table and I'm going to choose the video created time, one of the last columns we created in the videos table. And for the aggregation formula, we're going to use something pretty common here, max values. So it's going to give us the largest date, and that date signifies the last one. All right? So create field, and last video created is there. And we're going to create one more, and this is the oldest post date. Oldest post date. And this is actually going to be a formula this time around. And I'm going to copy paste this formula in. Now, let me explain this. So basically what's going to happen is, so this formula, what it does is it checks, is there a date here in this last video created column? If so, this column is now going to use that date. So basically, if there was a video created, use the date of the video that was created, right? So if a video was created December 1st, 2024, then the date will actually be December 1st, 2024 in this format. Now, if there isn't, use this date instead. And this is the date that we'll use to tell our automation to do not go further than this date here. So yeah, right now I have it set at 12/18 because that's the last time I ran it. For testing purposes, let's do 2025. So today's January 16th. We got 3 days left before TikTok might be banned here. So let's do 01. Let's just go back 2 days, 14, for testing purposes. And I'm going to go ahead and create that field. And as you can see, these rows all have something blank. And right now it's populating that 114 date. So if I put something in here, oh, well, okay. So let's try it. I guess let's try it. So if I just make some video here, let's call it video created time. I can actually just enter a date here, right? Last modified time 116. If I go back to the users table, I also need to add in that video too. There we go. 1/15/2025. 1/15/2025, right? And so the formula has now updated its oldest post date to 1/15/2025, right? Well, let's delete that for now because we don't actually need it. That old modified date can be there. That's okay. Video created time. Okay. We're just going to delete all that. Okay, cool. All right, and that's it for setting up the Airtable database itself. Next, we're going to move on to the make side to start hooking all these pieces up together. All right, here we go. Let's start on step number 2, which is set up make. So the first thing I'm going to do here is create a new folder for myself just to help myself stay organized. I'm going to call this demo TikTok saver. All right, now I'm going to create a new scenario. All right, and so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our data from Airtable and start sending it to Apify. So that's to actually request a run. So the first thing we're going to do is name this Airtable to Apify and start a run. All right. That's the name. And we're actually going to do that. So for this first module, we hit Airtable and we're going to watch responses here. Instant ACID, and that's the one that's going to watch things very instantly. And it's asking for a webhook. I'm going to create a brand new webhook for this. I'm going to call it demo TikTok saver. Okay. And there we go. We got a brand new webhook. We're going to copy that. And now, before we move on, we're actually going to go back to Airtable real quick. So under Airtable automations, I'm going to add in that webhook. But right before I do that, I'm going to go to this users table. And I'm going to do something here real quick. So if you remember, I put this run now checkbox here. In fact, I should probably rename it checkbox. Checkbox is redundant here. Okay, so I just run now checkbox. So what I want to do is anytime I have this checkbox checked, I want that record to be part of a new Airtable view. And then the make scenario can just watch for records that enter that view and then kick off from there. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to duplicate the all users view first, and I'm going to rename it run now. And the only thing I need to do is for this view, add a condition where run now is checked, right? And so right now, all records are filtered. But if I use these blank records and maybe check 2 of these, they show up in this run now view, all right? So if I uncheck them, they disappear. But of course, they're all under the all users field no matter what. All right, so that view is set up. And one more thing before we leave Airtable, go back to automations. We're going to go to automations in Airtable and make sure that using that webhook we got from Make, we're going to send over the record ID. First thing first, automation. We're going to rename this automation. Send Make. Let's see. Actually, let's name this the same way we always do it. Airtable to Make trigger automation. All right. All right. So what's the trigger? When a record enters that view that I just talked about, right? And so for that table, we're going to be looking at the users table. And for the view, we're going to look at the run now view that we just made. And if we choose record, there's nothing there. So just for testing purposes, let's go back to data. Let's pick a run now. In fact, yeah, let's also do one more thing. I'm just going to put a blank username there, Andy. Hit run now, and you will see that in that view right there. Okay, go back to automations and run. Now, if we're in this little test area, we hit choose record, that Andy record shows up. All right, now the next thing we're going to do is run a script. Okay, and it pulls up this code. Now, this is the only bit of code that we really do here on this channel. We try to reduce the amount of code, but it's really simple. It's two lines here. You can either pause right here and copy the code, or you can get access to the actual code in the school community that I have set up. You can find the link to it in the description below. Basically, the way this script works is that it uses 2 things. It uses the webhook that we just grabbed. So I'm going to copy that webhook. We're going to copy this webhook one more time. And we're going to paste this here in this webhook area. And then we're saying through this webhook, send over the record ID. Now, this is asking for a record ID now since I just copy pasted it. So I have to name this record ID under the inputs. So record ID. And if I can spell, there we go. And this thing still did not go away. Oh, that's right. Okay. And then the value of that is going to be the actual record ID. And this is the actual record that said Andy on it. So now let's test this. And this is where we now have hooked up Make and Airtable together. So we're going to go ahead and test this. I'm going to hit save. And I'm going to hit run once. And I'm going to go back here to Airtable and then test my webhook. And I'm going to go back to Make and wait for the response. And there it is. Airtable has received something back. So let's look at this record. And the record ends in ZRQ. So let's go back and make sure. Is that record ZRQ right here? That is correct. And just to double check, I'm going to go back to the data. Automation isn't alive. That's fine. I'll do it later. And let's go look at this record ID. ZRQ here at the end. So we're good. We're in good shape. Now Make and Airtable have been connected together. All right. We're in good shape. All right. I'm going to save this scenario. Now, there is one more thing I want to do. Once I go ahead and send Make the triggering record, I'm going to just go ahead and uncheck that checkbox in Airtable so that that record doesn't exist in the run now table anymore. So all we need to do is hit update record, select the users table, the same record that was selected, choose a field, run, which is that run now. And if you just leave it blank, it will deselect that checkbox. And let me just double check I did that correctly. Users, Airtable record. Yeah, we should be good. Okay. Now I'm going to turn this on and we should be good to go. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and undo this for now. And we'll come back to it when we're done with our Make integration. All right. So now in Make, now that the automation was triggered, we're going to get the data from that record. So the next thing we're going to do is Airtable, get a record. All right. Okay. I'm going to create a new connection. It's going to be OAuth here. And it's going to be demo. The connection name is going to be demo TikTok saver. Huh? Hit save. It's going to take me to authorizations. I'm going to add a base, and it's going to be the demo TikTok saver. Grant access. Give it a sec. All right, we should be connected. Select the TikTok saver base, and then we're going to select the users table. And then the record ID is going to be the one that was sent over from the first module, watch responses. You can just drag or double click. And we're done here. Save that. All right. So now we're going to move on to step number 3, which is getting the Apify stuff ready. So Apify is my favorite place to get scrapers. The nice thing is that I don't have to build the scraper myself. Other developers have made their own scrapers and they're being maintained by certain people. Some of them are actually maintained by Apify themselves too. Some of them you do have to pay money for, but you do get free credits here. Like here in the bottom of the screen, I'm going to show you. You do get $5 of free credit. The scraper we're going to use has a 4-day free trial. This wasn't the case. This is actually just a change they made like maybe a few weeks ago. Well, it happened. I didn't even know when it happened. I just realized it happened today. But yeah, they're pretty generous with free credits. So you can do a lot of testing for free, and it's really handy. So if you haven't used Apify before, I'm going to show you how to get the TikTok scraper set up. So first thing you're going to do is go to the Apify store. And when you're logged in, you can go to the store page here on the left and search for actors. And the actor is the actual scraper that's going to run for you. So I'm going to look for TikTok scraper. And you're going to see a bunch. And I'm just going to show all results here. You're going to see a lot here. And so lots of developers have their own scrapers in different ways. I just really like using the standard Clockworks one. And again, like I said, this one is a $45 a month fee. If you subscribe to their paid plan, you can use the scraper. And then you end up paying for usage over a certain amount. But you do get 4 free days. So if you're watching this to save your videos for the TikTok man, go ahead and make sure when you set this up, you do your scraping within 4 days. In fact, I'm just going to set up a little reminder for myself. Hey Siri, set a reminder for me in 3 days to cancel Apify trial.
Okay, I added cancel Amplify trial for Sunday.
Good enough. First thing you want to do is actually just hit start. That way you have your actor in your account. You can just run it. Oh no, sorry. Let me delete this. Is there a way to delete it? Can I trash it? Yeah, I can delete it. Now that you've run it once, you can now actually hook up Make to it. So I'm going to go back to Make. And I'm going to go ahead and select Apify. They have a native module. Okay, and this is going to be run an actor. So this is telling Apify, go ahead and run the actual scraper. We're going to hit run. We're going to make a new connection here. And this is going to be demo TikTok saver. And now API token. So to get our token, we're going to go back to Apify. We're going to hit settings, and then we're going to go to API and integrations. And then we see this personal API token. And we're going to copy that token. And then we're going to paste that token, hit save. And what's going to happen is, there we go. Our connection should be in there. And then when we hit actor, that TikTok scraper from Clockworks that we had run is going to be available for us now. All right, so we select that. Now, the data that we send over, this is the payload that we actually send over to the scraper. I'm going to copy and paste something here, and I'll explain to you what we're putting in. So basically what we're saying is, hey, scraper, for the oldest post date, send this post date over, grab the video data for this profile. Right now I have it set for, give me 10 videos for now. Should you download covers? Yes. Should you download subtitles? Yes. Should you download videos? Yes. That's what this input is saying. If you want to change any of the parameters, you can just change true to false. And also, because I copy paste this, I grab oldest post date from the Airtable record, which I had created before, and then the username from the Airtable record. And that's pretty much it. We don't need anything else here. Hit save. Now, one thing that we really need to make sure we do is update Airtable one more time. Update that record. We're going to hit TikTok Saver. Oh, yeah, because now we have to update for write permissions. Go ahead, demo TikTok Saver, grant access. Okay. Select the base, TikTok Saver. Select the users table. And the record ID is going to be that record that we got. And I like making sure we get the very first one just to make sure we're in good hands. Okay, so we're going to populate run ID with the default dataset ID. Now, this is going to populate the Airtable database with the last run of the scraper, so we can keep track of that. Hit save. So this part of the automation is actually done. Now, here's what I want to test out just to make sure we're in good shape. I'm going to go ahead and run this for an account and actually kick off a data scrape and making sure that my Airtable is updated with that run ID. Then we're going to, after that, start downloading videos. So first thing I want to do, actually, I had 10 videos here. I'm going to just do one for now, just to make sure this run works. I'm going to save the scenario. I'm going to hit run once. All right, so I'm going to enter my username for my own account. There's not many videos there, but it works. Andy.ai.automation. It's a long username. I should have picked something shorter. All right. So this should be running. All right, cool. All right, let's run it. Hit the check mark. It just showed and run now. I'm going to go back to the make scenario. Oh, there it goes. Let's double check. In Airtable, in Airtable, the record is no longer in run now, but we can find it in all users. Our run ID is populated. And in fact, even though we don't need it yet, if we go to our Apify, you will see the TikTok scraper actually running, and it's running right now, starting the crawler. And I asked it for only one video, and it's trying to grab one, and it finished. And it grabbed, yep, there's the one video. There we go. So it's actually working. Let's see here. Yep, and it grabbed one video right here, and we'll go straight to TikTok. And this is the last video I made. And I got a couple of likes, yay. Now that we have a run going, it does take a little bit of time for that crawler, it does take a little bit of time for that scraper to run. So I want to end my current automation right here and let it just end and let the actor just do its thing and scrape the data. Now I'm going to set up another automation to look out for when that scraper is actually done. And when it is done, we'll continue the automation to actually download our videos and then populate our Airtable database with those videos. So we're going to make a brand new scenario here. We're in our demo TikTok Saver folder. Create new scenario. And I'm going to do Appify, watch actor runs. And it's going to create a new webhook for me. And it's going to do it automatically. This is the nice thing. Webhook name, I'm going to name it demo TikTok Saver. Okay. And my connection should be that TikTok Saver there. And my actor will be pre-populated because we already used it before. That Clockworks TikTok scraper. Hit save. And I like to always call this out. We read your mind. We attach this webhook automatically for you. Now just double checking here. If we go to your actors, hit your TikTok scraper, go to integrations right here, you will see that webhook right here. And it did it automatically for us, which is really nice. All right, back to make. We'll save this connection. And now we're going to actually get the data back. Okay, so we're going to go to Appify. We're going to go ahead and get data set items. All right, we're going to make sure the connection is for the right connection. And then the data is and there's a lot of stuff that came back here, right? So I'm going to just type this in. Default dataset ID right here. Oops. Default dataset ID. Okay. Data transformation, we don't need to do it. Just do none because we're not coding anything here. Format, JSON, we want it to come back JSON. Limit 100, yeah, just process everything that comes back. If you need to up that limit, if you have more than 100 videos, just increase it. Offset, you don't need to worry about. Hit save. Okay. And now we're going to do a quick Airtable search. This is to make sure we don't have to touch anything in the middle of this run. So I'm going to show you how I do it, which is Airtable, search records. And remember, search records is an iterator. So you have to just be careful about the steps that come after it. Connection, we're going to do TikTok Saver. The base is our TikTok Saver. The table is going to be our user table. All right. So I'm going to skip here to formula. I'm going to tell this automation, just grab the data for this person's username from Airtable and match it up with the username I have from Appify. So to do that, I'm going to have a curly braces, username, which is that column we made in Airtable, equals, begin quote, and then from the data set, Appify data set, from here, it's going to be author. Where'd it go? Should be author. Oh, you know why? It's not showing up because we didn't run it. So let's go ahead and run that scraper one more time. When we run it again, all the available data will show up again. So we're going to leave that there for now. I'm going to save this and whoops. I do this a lot too. We're going to rename this Appify to Airtable because that's what we're doing. And this is actually download videos. All right, this is the important step. Okay, let's save. Ignore those warnings for now while we're testing. All right, I'm going to have run once. The module's not set up, kind of saves unchanged. Okay, so it should be, it's probably not going to let me run. So the first thing we're going to do is turn on the start of run automation because we know that's working. Okay. I'm going to reopen this one that we're working on. I'm going to go ahead and say run once. Okay. I'm going to go back to my Airtable, check the run now. And we'll give it a sec. There you go. The run now checkbox has been updated to not have a check mark anymore. So that probably means that, so that means the scraper started, right? And if we go here, it started a run. The crawler has started. Scraping. All right, and we're done. So if we go back here to the automation that we're testing, so let's check out the data that came back in the get data set items. And here you go. It's actually the video that I posted. I was replying to this user and talking about the TikTok ban. Right? And here's the stuff here's the web URL. And you know what? If I go here, just to show you how this thing works, the media URL is right here. So if I copy it, I paste it into my web browser. There's the video.
A little bit
Actually, a copy of the video, no watermark. This is straight off the TikTok servers.
people out in the cold.
Yep. It's straight off the TikTok servers, but now it's sitting on Appify's server where it scraped the data and storing that data for us. So yeah, as you can see, api.appify.com. Super cool. So now we have our data. So let's move on to the next step. Next step is, like we said, we're going to go ahead and search records. And we're going to go ahead and reestablish that connection. Demo TikTok Saver. TikTok Saver. We're going to update we're going to look through the users table. And now I can enter that formula. So Airtable username equals, now here I'm going to look for author meta name. And there it is. And it says Andy.ai automation. There's my name. And make sure to end the quotes there. Okay. And for now, I'm just going to limit one. Just for now. Hit save. In fact, if it's just for one user, you should always just limit one anyway. One thing I do want to explain, you do have to be careful. If you don't limit it, sometimes you get all this junk data. Well, junk. Not that you get all this extra data. Not that this stuff, I didn't mean to say junk, sorry. But yeah, as you can see, it found the first video just fine when I was doing my testing. But then it pulled all this other data. I actually paid for that. So I paid 2.5 cents for all this extra data I didn't need. I mean, not much, but if I am doing this lots and lots of times, this is going to add up. The next thing is going to be a little counterintuitive. I actually have to review this every time. Because of the subtitles, the subtitle data that we get back is actually a link to the subtitle file, the SRT file that I talked about. Now, what we want to do is just actually put that into text. So I'm going to do one more extra step here just to make our lives a little bit easier down the road. And that involves doing two separate things here in Make. First, I'm going to set up a router. And this is just to make sure I download the subtitle file for every single video that I get. So first of all, I'm going to do a router here. All right. And for this first path, I'm going to say set up a filter. And this filter is just going to say if there's a video and this video meta, if a video exists, video meta, right? If it exists, okay, continue on because that's all we need. We're just saying go ahead and move forward. And now for every video, I'm going to do a flow control. I'm going to do an iterator. For every video, which is going to be video meta. And not just for, video meta. And not just for every video, but every subtitle link, which is subtitle links here. All right. Pull that in. Okay. Now, for every one of those, we're going to download that file. HTTP is how you download. You do a get a file. And all we need to do is get that download link, which is from the iterator right here. All right. As you can see, it's api.appify.com. The download link is right here. So we will download the subtitle file, hit save. And now once I've downloaded the file, to make my life easier, I'm going to go ahead and store that data as a variable. So here's how we do that. We set variable here. Set variable name, I'm just calling it SRT file. And variable value is going to be just data. Okay. All right. We should be in good shape there. All right. So now that I have my subtitle data, I'm ready to go ahead and populate the rest of this. Now that this branch is done, we'll go ahead and run through this second branch, and we're just going to double check to make sure if video meta exists again. If there's a video and it exists, okay. And then we're going to retrieve that variable. So tools, get variable, SRT is the variable name. All right. And now I'm going to start creating a brand new record in our Airtable database for that video. So Airtable, this is where the magic happens. Create a record. All right. Our connection is TikTok Saver. Base is TikTok Saver. All right. And then our table is videos this time. All right. And follow along. This is where it gets a little bit tricky. But if you follow me step by step, you shouldn't have any problems. So for the video ID, you want to grab the record, the ID here, right? This 7460 number. For users, open that up. Is under record ID 1, you want to grab the ID of the, let's see here. Oh, yeah, the ID of that user that you grabbed from the very beginning. So, yes, from the search records. All right. Now, for cover, expand that out. Okay. File URL, you want to hit video. Oh, make sure you're in your search items. Video meta. And under video meta, it's the original cover URL. Now, for media, that's our actual video file. This is the finally, we're at the really important thing. So we're going to grab media URL and make sure to grab the actual one with the link here, with the one in it. All right? Because that's where the actual link is. Now, captions is going to be called text. As you can see, that's where I say replying to this person. All right? Now, the TikTok URL is going to be web video URL. As you can see, that's the tiktok.com URL. All right. Number of likes is actually called dig count. Only 7 likes, but that's okay for me. I appreciate all those likes. Number of views, I think that's play count. Yep. 100. All right. Saves is called collect count. And go back here. Collect count. This video, no one saved so far. That's okay. Duration is going to be video meta. And you see the duration. It's in this number here. Okay. Number of comments is going to be comment count. There we go. 2 comments. SRT. Yay. Now, SRT, we're just going to grab the variable that we grabbed here. All right. And then video created time is actually created time ISO. And create time ISO. Sorry. So as you can see, January 16th. Yeah, I did make that today. I made it this morning. All right. And that's it. And hit save. All right. Now our data is there. All right. That should take care of downloading the videos themselves. But there's one more tail end of this automation I want to make sure we run, and it's to update the user table with the right data. Since we pulled all this data anyway, we might as well update the user data with all the stuff that we wanted to keep in there. So I'm going to add one more router in here, one more leg. And this is to just say, let's see, should we do it in the beginning or do it at the end? Setup filter, condition, the bundle order position if this is equal to, yeah, let's just do it at the first one. So as long as there's one video, update my user data. But if I have 10 videos downloaded, I only have to do this one time. I don't need to do it nine more times. That's what this is saying. Hit save, and we're going to update the user table this time. So go back to Airtable, update a record instead of creating a record now. Go to base, TikTok saver, go to users table. All right. So user ID is going to be our ID from our search records here. Can I just, yeah, that's okay. And we don't need to update anything else. The username is already good. The run now, we can just not touch profile pic, but though we want to add in. So go add item file URL, and the profile pic is called author meta, and you see profile pic URL. That's the one. We actually want avatar. There it is. Author meta avatar. Okay. Now, nickname is going to be nickname. AI with Andy is my nickname. Oh, I didn't realize you have this mention here. Okay. Signature is going to be, it should be bio. Oh, it's actually signature. Okay. And then bio link will be bio. Number of followers should be fans. I have 15 now. Hopefully one day that'll be a little bit bigger. But I appreciate every one of those 15 right now. Following is actually friends. I have more than... There should be data there. Oh, following. Sorry. Following is 19. Yep. Sorry. Following is following. Friends is actually friends. And I haven't made any friends yet with this account. Total likes should be hearts. 90 hearts. Oh, nice. Total videos should be video. Author meta video. So I have 11. Okay, I got 11. Okay. And run ID, just leave alone. We already updated that. Videos you leave alone too, because we're updating the user table. And now you hit save. And our automation is done. So let's actually give it a shot. Okay, save. Let's do a quick auto align so everything looks nice. All right, let's give this a shot. First thing I'm going to do is double check my table here. My video, I'm actually going to clear this out. Okay, go to my users. Delete all. Okay, so let's do it with one video for now. Okay, let's hit run now. And in the meantime, I'm going to hit run once on the automation side here. I'm going to look at my runs. Go back to runs. All right, now it's running. Okay. It's going. It's found my profile. It's scraping. And actually, instead of watching the make automation go, let's actually wait for the video to populate here. No hands. Just give it a sec. There it goes. Cool. It all worked. So as you can see, let's make this extra tall so you can see. There's the cover. There's my mug there. This is the image. This is the video right here in Airtable. All right, a little bit of an urgent playing right now because of the probable TikTok. All right, me talking about the band. Here's the caption that I typed out on my phone like this. The TikTok URL. So if I click that, I go directly to TikTok. There we go. I'm actually in TikTok. Ooh, I got a new follower. Yay. Thank you, Damien. Damarin. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Shout out to you. All right. Likes, 18. Views, 15. 1 save. Duration, 213. Comments, 2. Oh, I got 2 comments. Oh, I got to respond to those. The SRT file. All important SRT file. Here's one thing I'm going to say about this. If you made it this far to the video, I'm going to call this out. So if you made it this far, quick tip for you. This video I'm making is to save all your TikTok videos, right? In case something happens to the app. But now that you have all of your SRT files in this Airtable database, you can throw this into ChatGPT and do a lot with it. So you could repurpose it, put it up on Instagram or something, put it up on LinkedIn if that's where your vibe is, right? But now that you have this, you can now use ChatGPT or Claude or any of the ones you like. And now you can do some real cool AI and automation stuff with this. So just a note for people who want to extend this tool further, this is not just a one and done tool. You can use this much more extensively. All right. But all the video's done. All right. And let's just double check my make scenario. And it looks like everything worked. Let's show the thing working end to end completely with all the videos on my account. So in order to do that, I'm going to do this. First of all, I'm going to delete this video. All right. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12 videos here. All right. So it should download all 12 videos and all the data related to it. Okay. So first thing I'm going to do is just double check my variables here. So this is a roll up, so I don't think I have to check anything. Oldest post date. Okay. All right. So I'm going to set this date to January 1st because I don't think I went further back than that. Now I'm going to go to videos and just double check my last video created time. I don't think I have anything there. Okay. Video created time. This is the formula. Whoop. So let's run this end to end. So actually, I need to do one more thing. I need to go to my starter run, update my results per page because I only set it to 1 for testing purposes. Save the changes. That scenario's on. And then I'm just going to double check one more thing here. That should be good. Limit 100 should be good. Search record. So this is grabbing the user table. There should be only one user. Yeah. Okay. We should be good. Now we're going to run this one more time. All right. So my video table is cleared out. My users table has my data in there, but that's fine. And my scenarios are on. And we're just going to hit run now. Hit run now. That check mark is disappearing now. The Appify scraper is running now. All right, and let's go to the videos table. No hands. I have a feeling I hit a limit. No, okay, still going. Still going. Okay. Did not hit a limit. Sometimes if you're on a free trial, because of the machine, the VM that they're using these things on, it might have some memory limits. So sometimes runs get aborted. You have to be careful if you're using the free stuff. There we go. Here they come. I should have 12 videos. Stopped at 8. All right, so I grabbed 8, and that's probably because these videos I posted.
Here's how you can get viral.
I posted December 29th. So let me just double check.
Don't spend $200 a month on ChatGPT Pro videos. Here's how you automatically download. Here's how you
Okay,
find.
so here's January 1st. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But this one is actually private.
Here's how you can spy.
I was doing a test. So it is actually 8 videos that this worked actually. So this did work, although I should have probably went back a little bit further. So this was a little happy accident to show how that date roll-up thing works. So if you don't want to download everything from a certain date, that's how that works. So because I set that oldest date to be January 1st, it did not download anything from that January 1st. So it actually worked exactly how we expected it. So it downloaded 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one's a private one. 6, 7, 8. Because this is 1,
Here's
1.
how you can spot.
And then this is
Here's how you can
12:31.
automatically.
So it actually worked exactly how expected. So let's go back to the videos and let's see. There it is. All the covers. Everything's there. Open up all the covers and let's just pick a random one. Here's the video.
I've always been worried about AI taking over, but this article here.
All right. There's the short. And there we go. I got all the number of views I've gotten, saves, duration. Thank you everyone for saving and commenting so far. Appreciate it. All right. And then, of course, the all-important subtitle files with all the stuff I say, all the words. All right. So there we go. That's the scraper in a nutshell. And I do want to explain one more thing. To download those 8, I used about, let's go to the run, 6 cents. So you can extrapolate from there. All right. But yeah, there's the automation. Just to recap what we did. We set up a Airtable database with user data and a video table. Then we set up a make scenario to hook up, make an Airtable and Apify together. Start a scraping run in Apify. Let that go because sometimes that scraper can take a while, right? Then once the scraper is done running, automatically go ahead, download the data, grab the data for that particular user, and then download the subtitles files, create those records in Airtable for every single video, and then start populating Airtable with that data. And one more step, update the user table right here with the latest information. All right. So that's how this run works.